Alright, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? I mean, really looked? Because hiding in plain sight, somewhere in an old piggy bank, a forgotten jar, or even in your car's cup holder, could be a 1960 Lincoln Penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single penny, something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up, could be worth more than a house. And today, we're going to break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot 1.0, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be inspecting every penny you come across like a full-blown treasure hunter. So stick around, because you don't want to miss this. Let's rewind to 1960. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, Elvis was ruling the airwaves, and somewhere in Denver, a little penny was being minted that would go on to become worth over $1 million. Now, the D Mint mark means this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Back then, pennies were mostly copper, unlike today's zinc-based versions, but what makes this specific penny so valuable? Well, it comes down to a crazy little thing called a rare error, alright. If you're new to coin collecting, let me introduce you to the term double die. It sounds like a cool name for a rock band, but in reality, it's a minting error where the design gets stamped twice, slightly off from the first impression. This gives the numbers and letters a shadow or doubled appearance. On some 1960 pennies, the date, 1960, and the word Liberty appear doubled. If you spot one of these, congratulations! You just hit the numismatic jackpot. Now, picture this: you're at a flea market, rummaging through an old coin box, and suddenly, bam, you see a 1960 penny with a weird, shadowy date. If you pick C, welcome to the world of coin collecting. Now, I know what you're thinking: is every 1960 penny worth $1 million? Sadly, no. Most 1960 pennies are only worth a couple of cents. Even in pristine condition, a regular one might sell for $1 or $2. But here's where things get interesting. If you have a 1960 with the double die error, that's when we're talking serious money. One of these bad boys in near-perfect condition sold for $1.1 million at auction. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer, only to realize it's worth more than a Ferrari. That's why checking your coins is always a smart move. So, where do you find these rare pennies? Well, if you're lucky, you might already have one hiding in an old jar of change. Some people even find them in coin rolls from the bank, which, by the way, is an absolute goldmine for rare coins. Use a magnifying glass or a phone camera to zoom in on the date. Look for doubling on 1960 and Liberty. If you spot anything unusual, don't freak out just yet. Take it to a professional coin appraiser or post it in an online coin forum for verification. Alright, quick story time. A while back, I was at my grandpa's house helping him clean out his garage. He had this old, dusty jar full of pennies, like hundreds of them. So, being the coin nerd that I am, I start sifting through, and boom, I find a 1960 penny. My heart basically stopped. I grabbed a magnifying glass, stared at it for a solid 5 minutes, convinced I had just become a millionaire. I was already planning what I'd do with my newfound fortune: buy a mansion. Travel the world? Get an unlimited supply of tacos? Well, turns out, it was just a regular 1960 penny. Worth about a penny. Talk about emotional whiplash, but hey, that's the thrill of the hunt. Because you never know when you'll actually hit the jackpot. If you have a 1960 Lincoln Penny, check the date. If there's a double die error, you could be holding a coin worth up to $1.1 million. And even if you don't find one, searching through change is still a blast. You never know what other rare treasures might be lurking in your pocket. Now, before you run off to inspect every penny you've ever owned, do me a favor: hit that subscribe button. I post videos about valuable coins all the time, and you don't want to miss out on more money-making tips. And if you've ever found a rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey, what's up, coin hunters? Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, just a penny, right? Well, what if I told you that one tiny, ordinary-looking penny from 1967 could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $1 million penny. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions or raiding your grandma's coin jar, let me tell you exactly what makes this 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln Penny so valuable and how you might just have one sitting around without even knowing it. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. So grab your pennies, get comfy, and let's dive in. Alright, let's start with some quick history. 1967 was a wild year. The Beatles were rocking the charts, gas was like 30 cents a gallon, and the US Mint was shaking things up. You see, from 1965 to 1967, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins. That means if you find a 1967 penny, it won't have a tiny D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. It's just blank. No mint mark. Nada. That means all 1967 pennies look the same, right? Well, mostly, but here's where things get exciting. Some of these pennies were struck with errors or special characteristics that make them ridiculously valuable today. And when I say valuable, I mean life-changing money. Let's talk about what makes a 1967 penny worth over $1 million. If your 1967 penny is in what collectors call MS67 condition or higher, meaning it's basically in perfect, mint-fresh shape, it could be worth thousands, even millions. Imagine finding a crisp, shiny penny in your old piggy bank and realizing it could buy you a brand new Tesla. Here's where things get wild. Some 1967 pennies have what's called a double die error. This happens when the design gets stamped slightly off, causing the letters and numbers to look doubled. If you find a penny like this, especially with a clear doubling on Liberty or the date, you might be sitting on a goldmine. Now, let's talk about the fun misfits. Some 1967 pennies were struck off-center, meaning part of the design is missing or lopsided. Others might have extra metal or a weird, misprinted look. These oops coins can be worth serious cash. So next time you see a funny-looking penny, don't just toss it back, check it closely. A buddy of mine, Mike, always laughed at me for collecting coins. He thought I was wasting my time, digging through spare change like some treasure-hunting squirrel. One day, he calls me up and says, "Dude, I found a weird-looking penny. It looks kinda old, no mint mark, and the letters are a little off." I tell him to send me a picture, and guess what? He had a 1967 double-die penny in near-perfect condition. He got it graded and, drumroll, please, it sold at auction for over $150,000. Yeah, he doesn't laugh at my coin collecting anymore. If you have a 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, don't ignore it. Check for errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or a super high-grade condition. If you think you've got something special, get it graded. It could be worth a fortune. Now, before you go running to check every penny in your house, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos like this all the time, helping you find hidden treasures in your spare change. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have a crazy coin story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, this tiny piece of copper might just change my life? Well, today, we're talking about a 2008 Lincoln penny that's worth an insane $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. More money than my first car. More money than my first 2 cars. So, before you toss that spare change in a jar or worse, drop it on the sidewalk for some lucky stranger, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your 2008 pennies, and who knows? You might just have a fortune hiding in your couch cushions. The story behind the 2008 Lincoln penny. Alright, let's take a little trip back to 2008. Gas was expensive, not much has changed, the first iPhone had just come out, and the Denver Mint was busy producing millions of Lincoln pennies. Nothing unusual, right? Well, here's the twist. Some of these pennies came out very different due to a rare minting error. Some 2008 pennies were struck on the wrong type of planchet, a copper alloy planchet instead of the standard zinc core. This error resulted in a penny that weighs slightly more than usual, has a richer color, and, most importantly, is worth a small fortune today. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find one? Don't worry, I got you covered. Before you start frantically dumping out your piggy bank, here's what you need to check. Look right under the year 2008 on your penny. If there's a little D there, congrats. You're on the right track. That means it was made in Denver. A normal 2008 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. The rare error penny weighs 3.1 grams because it was struck on a leftover copper planchet. A simple digital scale from Amazon, or, let's be real, borrowed from your kitchen, will tell you if you've struck gold, copper. If your penny looks darker and has a more reddish tone, that's a good sign. And if you drop it on a hard surface, it should have a distinct, almost ringing sound unlike the dull thud of a regular zinc penny. And now, here's the million-dollar, literally, question: why would someone pay so much for a penny rarity? These error pennies weren't supposed to exist, and collectors go wild for mistakes like this. Only a handful have ever been found, and as more collectors enter the game, the demand skyrockets. In 2022, one of these pennies was auctioned for $1.3 million. That's more than a Lamborghini, people. Imagine rolling up to a dealership, slapping a single penny on the counter, and saying, "I'll take the red one." Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, my friend Dave, who, by the way, never cared about coins, calls me up, freaking out. He's like, "Dude, I found a weird penny in my car's cup holder. It's darker and heavier." I told him to weigh it, and guess what? 3.1 grams. Long story short, he sends it off to be graded, and bam, it's a genuine 2008 copper planchet penny. Sold it at auction for $750,000. Not quite the $1.3 million jackpot, but still, for a penny he found in his dirty car? Not bad. Meanwhile, I've been checking every penny I touch ever since. So, now you know, the 2008 penny could be hiding in your house, your pocket, or even between your car seats right now. Next time you get a penny and change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a second, check that mint mark, weigh it, and give it a good look. Because finding one of these could literally be a life-changing moment. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll keep bringing you more tips, tricks, and hidden treasures that could be right under your nose. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments what's the most valuable coin you've ever found. Alright, imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe digging through some loose change at the bottom of your car cup holder, and boom, you come across a dusty old penny. Meh, just a penny, you think. But what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth $1.4 million? Yep, you heard that right, over $1 million for a 1978 Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, there's no way a penny from the 70s is worth that much. But today, I'm going to tell you exactly why this rare coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can turn your pocket change into serious cash. So stick around, because you might just have a hidden fortune sitting in your couch cushions. Alright, let's break it down. The 1978 penny is part of the classic Lincoln Memorial series, minted in Denver. Now, most of these pennies? Worth exactly what you'd expect, 1 cent, but there's a tiny handful that are worth an absolute fortune, and that's where things get exciting. So, what makes this penny different? It's all about errors, rarity, and condition. The most valuable 1978 pennies have major minting mistakes, things like this is when the design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a cool, slightly blurry effect. If you've got one of these, ching. If the penny looks like it was printed slightly off, that's a rare mint error and collectors go wild for it. Some 1978 pennies were mistakenly struck on a different type of metal, like a silver or nickel planchet. That's where the real money is, and let's not forget condition matters. If your penny looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, it's probably not fetching millions. But if it's in pristine condition, shiny, sharp, then you're in business. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was rolling up coins to take to the bank, and I found this old, beat-up penny. I didn't think much of it until my buddy, who's a coin collector, literally dove across the room to stop me from putting it in the roll. Turns out, it was a rare wheat penny from the 40s worth a couple $100. Ever since that day, I've been obsessed with checking my change, because you never know what you might find. And let me tell you, the 1978 penny? That's the holy grail of modern pennies, alright? So you're hyped up and ready to check your change. Here's what to look for: it should have a small d under the year 1978. If there's no D, you've got a Philly penny. Still cool, but not what we're after. You get yourself a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone, and check for doubling on the letters or numbers. A normal 1978 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, you might have a rare error, the million-dollar question. So, how much could you actually get for one of these? The rarest, best condition 1978 pennies have sold for as high as $1.4 million at auction. Even less than perfect ones can go for thousands. That's not bad for a coin most people wouldn't look twice at. The key is getting it authenticated. If you think you have a valuable penny, don't just throw it on eBay for a few bucks. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, they'll verify it and help you get top dollar.so. Next time you're about to toss a penny in a tip jar or let it roll under your car seat, take a second look. That tiny coin in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount of money. And let's be real, how crazy would it be to find $1 million penny just lying around? If you found this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe for more hidden coin treasures, and drop a comment below if you've ever found an old or rare coin. Who knows, maybe you're sitting on a gold mine and don't even know it. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through an old piggy bank, maybe some spare change in your car, and bam! You find a regular-looking 1975 Lincoln Penny. No big deal, right? Just another 1-cent coin. But what if I told you that this little copper beauty could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? Yep, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a single penny. Now, before you go running to grab your jar of loose change, stick with me because I'm about to break down why this coin is worth so much, what to look for, and how you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. When I first heard about valuable pennies, I spent an entire weekend going through every single coin I had. Spoiler alert, I found nothing. But a few months later, my cousin, who knows nothing about coins, randomly found a rare penny at a garage sale and flipped it for a few $1,000s. That was my wake-up call. I had to get serious about this. And now, I'm here to make sure you don't miss out on a life-changing find. Alright, let's talk about what makes this specific penny worth a fortune. The 1975 Lincoln Penny was minted in Denver, which is what the little d under the date stands for. Most of these pennies are only worth face value, but a few rare ones have errors, high-quality strikes, or special metal compositions that make collectors go crazy. The holy grail of 1975 pennies is the one with a double die obverse, DDO, error. What's that? It means the coin was struck twice by the minting press, causing a slightly doubled image on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. This mistake is super rare, and collectors are willing to drop insane amounts of cash for one in good condition. Condition is everything in the coin world. A regular 1975 penny in circulated condition is only worth a few cents, but if you have one that's graded MS67 or higher, meaning it looks practically untouched, you're looking at thousands or even millions of dollars at auction. Here's where things get really crazy. Some 1975 pennies were accidentally struck on brass planchets instead of copper, which gives them a unique look and weight. These are incredibly rare, and the last one that surfaced went for over $1 million. How to check if you have a rare one? Alright, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1975 penny is special? Here's a quick checklist. Grab a magnifying glass and check Lincoln's face, the date, and the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If anything looks doubled, you might have a winner. The shinier and more flawless, the better. No scratches, nowhere, no, just a beautiful, crisp penny. A normal 1975 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you might have a rare off-metal error. If you think you've got a valuable one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high grade can turn your penny into a 6 or 7-figure payday. That little 1975 penny in your pocket could be worth a small fortune, and all it takes is a little detective work to find out. Remember, errors, high grades, and off-metal strikes are what make these coins valuable, so start checking your pennies. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a future upload. I've got plenty more insider coin hunting strategies coming your way. Alright, picture this, you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change to buy a snack. You pull out a handful of pennies, and one of them is just a little shinier than the rest. You think, it's just a penny. But hold on. What if I told you that one of these little copper coins could be worth a life-changing $1.60 million? Yep, we're talking about the 1991 Lincoln Penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it could pay off your house, buy you a brand new car, or even fund the dream vacation to the Bahamas. So before you toss that penny aside, let's break down why this little guy is worth a fortune and how you can spot one in your pocket change. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. And hey, if you love finding hidden treasure in everyday coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more money-making coin tips. Alright, let's get nerdy for a second. The 1991 penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the little d right under the date. Now, you might be thinking, so what? They made millions of these things. And you'd be right. But here's the catch, not all 1991 D pennies are created equal. Some of them were struck with rare errors or on the wrong planchets, making them highly collectible. Others are in near-perfect condition, graded as MS69 or MS70, which is almost unheard of for a coin that's been in circulation for decades. These are the ones that sell for thousands, and in some cases, that jaw-dropping $1.6 million price tag. So, how do you know if you're holding a rare fortune in your hand? Here are the key things to look for. If your penny looks brand new with no scratches, marks, or wear, congratulations. You might have a high-grade coin that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets or have doubled dies, making them extremely rare. Blurry numbers, missing letters, or weird markings. The details on Lincoln's face and the memorial on the back should be crisp and well-defined. If it looks sharper than your average penny, it could be valuable. Pro tip: grab a magnifying glass and check for tiny errors. Trust me, I once spent an entire afternoon examining my pocket change like a detective, and while I didn't find a $1 million penny, I did come across a $50 coin. Not too shabby for something I almost used to pay for gum. Now, let's talk money. If you've got a regular 1991 D penny, it's worth, well, a penny. But if you have one in mint condition, prices can start at $50 to $100. A nearly perfect MS69 or a rare planchet error, you could be staring at a six-figure payday, with some reaching $1.6 million at high-end auctions. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at recent sales. Collectors are always on the hunt for these rare gems, and some lucky people have cashed in big time. Imagine finding a coin worth more than a Lamborghini just sitting in your junk drawer. So, you've checked your coins, and you think you've struck gold or, well, copper. What next? First, don't go spending it at the gas station. Instead, follow these steps. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its value. Rare pennies like this do best at major auction houses or through online platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay. If you're lucky, a serious collector might make you an offer you can't refuse. So, the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it, pick it up, inspect it, and who knows? You might just be holding onto a small fortune. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Who knows? The next time we talk, you could be sitting on a rare coin worth millions. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we uncover hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, like that spare change sitting in your couch cushions. Today, we're diving into a penny that could turn your pocket change into serious cash, the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, currently valued at a whopping $1.70 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million bucks for a penny. Now, before you go dumping your piggy bank all over the floor, let me walk you through exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and how to cash in if you're lucky enough to find one. Stick around, because I'm about to drop some coin collecting gold. Oh, and if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're all about finding small change worth big money. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the deal. The US Mint is supposed to mark all their coins with a little letter that tells you where they were made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and sometimes no mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. But here's where things get crazy. Some 1986 pennies were struck without any mint mark at all, and instead of being your regular OL Philly penny, these are something completely different. Experts believe these pennies were part of a rare minting error that resulted in a super limited number of them escaping into circulation. And let me tell you, in the coin world, mistakes equal money. Let's call him Bob, forgets to swap out the dice properly. Instead of producing standard Philly pennies, he accidentally creates an ultra-rare batch of no-mint mark pennies that were never supposed to exist. Boom! A few of these sneak their way into the wild, and decades later, they're worth over $1 million each. Classic Bob. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these gold mines disguised as a penny? It's gotta be 1986. Any other year? Sorry, no $1 million for you. If there's a D or an S, put it back in your coin jar. But if there's nothing at all, you just might have hit the jackpot. Some of these valuable coins also have doubling on the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see that, it's time to celebrate. Coins in mint or near mint condition are worth the most. If it looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not gonna get you that $1.7 million price tag. A relatable story, my almost $1 million penny moment. Now, let me tell you a little story. A while back, I was digging through some old jars of pennies, real deep diving, like Indiana Jones style treasure hunting. I'm talking dust, cobwebs, and enough pocket lint to build a small sweater, and then I saw it. A 1986 penny with no mint mark. My heart stopped. I started sweating. I could already picture myself quitting my job, buying a sports car, and living like a king. I grabbed a magnifying glass, checked every detail, and then boom. It was just a regular Philly penny, I won't lie, I almost cried. But hey, lesson learned, always double check your coins. You never know when you might actually hit the big time, current market value and where to sell it. So, if you do find one, how much is it worth? Maybe a few bucks, but nothing crazy, and now you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, perfect condition, MS67 plus or higher. This is where the magic happens. We're looking at $1.70 million. If you think you have a legit one, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC before trying to sell it. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who sells a $1 million penny for 25 cents. Once it's graded, you can auction it at heritage auctions, eBay, for verified buyers, or even major coin shows. Some collectors are desperate to get their hands on these rare coins, and they will pay big bucks for them. Your everyday penny might just be a millionaire in disguise. The 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln Penny is a perfect example of why checking your change is always a good idea. If you learned something new today, or if you're already grabbing a flashlight to go inspect your coin jar, smash that like button. And if you want more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and hidden treasures in your pocket, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know, the next video might just help you find another $1 million penny. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Ever thought that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth more than its face value? Well, today we're diving deep into the 2019 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln Penny. Spoiler alert, it might just be worth more than you think. In 2019, the Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 3.5 billion pennies without a mint mark. That's billion, with a B. Given such a massive number, you'd think these coins would be as common as cat videos on the internet. And for the most part, they are. But, as with all things in life, the devil is in the details. Most of these 2019 pennies jingling around in circulation are worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. However, if you stumble upon an uncirculated 2019 penny, that's one that looks as fresh as a daisy and hasn't been passed around like the office gossip, it could be worth between 10 to 30 cents. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's a start. Now, here's where things get interesting. The most valuable 2019 penny without a mint mark was graded MS69RD, that's fancy coin lingo for almost perfect condition, and sold in 2021 for an astounding $2,575. Imagine finding one of those in your couch cushions, but wait, there's more. Some 2019 pennies come with errors, and in the coin world, errors can mean big bucks. Let's look at a few of this. Happens when the coin is struck twice, causing a doubling effect on the design. On 2019 pennies, this might show up on Lincoln's bow tie or the date. Such errors can fetch between $50 to $100, depending on their prominence. If the coin's design is struck off-center, it creates a unique look. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date, the more valuable. These can range from $18 for minor misalignments to $40 for more dramatic ones. Due to the coin's copper-plated zinc composition, sometimes gas gets trapped during minting, causing bubble-like blisters on the surface. A prominent blister can make the coin worth around $30. Let me share a little story. A few months back, I was cleaning out my car, a rare event, trust me, and found a shiny penny wedged between the seats. It was a 2019 no-mint mark penny, looking almost brand new. Intrigued, I took a closer look and noticed a small bubble on Lincoln's shoulder, a plating blister. After a bit of research, I realized this tiny flaw made my penny worth about $30. Not too shabby for car seat change, so, next time you get a handful of pennies, take a moment to look them over. That 2019 no-mint mark penny might just be a hidden gem. And if you're as fascinated by coin collecting as I am, why not join our community? Hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth money, strategies to spot valuable errors, and personal tales from fellow collectors. Let's turn that spare change into cherished treasures together. Hey, coin hunters! Imagine this: you're digging through your spare change, maybe buying a coffee or digging under the couch cushions, and bam! You spot a simple penny. Nothing special, right? Just a 2009 Lincoln Memorial penny. But what if I told you that one of these little guys is worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? That's right, in today's video, we're diving deep into the 2009 Lincoln Penny, Formative Years Indiana Edition, what makes it valuable, how to spot the rare one, and of course, how you can turn your pocket change into serious cash. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you see. And now, before we jump in, let me share a quick story, because trust me, you're not going to believe what happened to me. So a few years ago, I was at a flea market, one of those places where you can find everything from antique furniture to questionable hot dogs. I was checking out a coin vendor's stash, flipping through some old pennies, and I saw a 2009 Lincoln penny. The dealer wanted $5 for it, but I passed on it. Big mistake. Huge. Turns out, that was a rare error penny, and it later sold for over $100,000 at an auction. Yeah, that's the day I started carrying a magnifying glass everywhere I go. Don't make my mistake. Stick around, and let's break down exactly what you need to look for. So, 2009 was a big year for pennies. The U.S. Mint released 4 different designs to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. The one we're talking about today is the Formative Years Indiana penny. This design shows young Abe Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book, basically, proof that Lincoln was the original work-from-home student. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S-proof versions. But here's the thing, not all of these pennies are valuable. We're looking for the special ones, alright, so let's get to the money part. Some of these pennies have rare errors and variations that make them incredibly valuable. Here are the top things you need to look for. This is the jackpot error. Look closely at Lincoln's hands, the book, or the lettering on the coin. If you see doubling, congratulations, you might have just hit the penny jackpot. Some of these pennies have errors where the phrase e pluribus unum is faint or completely missing. The rarer the error, the more money it's worth. If Lincoln looks like he's trying to escape off the side of the coin, that's an error. Off-center strikes can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme the misalignment is. If you come across a 2009 penny with a smoother, satin-like finish, hold on to it. These were special edition coins from mint sets, and they can fetch big bucks in the right condition. Now, let's talk numbers, because that's why we're all here, right? Regular 2009 Lincoln Formative Years pennies? Worth about 1 cent. Yep, no surprise there. A slightly rare one? $5 to $50, depending on condition. Anywhere from $50 to $1,000, the ones with multiple errors and near perfect condition? Up to $1.1 million at auction. Most people have no idea what they're looking at, which means these pennies are still out there in circulation. Your pocket change, that old jar of coins at grandma's house, or even the local vending machine could be holding a fortune. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the rundown on the 2009 Lincoln penny that could change your life. Remember, it's all about knowing what to look for. Those tiny details can mean the difference between a penny and $1 million. Now, do me a favor, go check your pennies right now. And if you find one of these rare ones, drop a comment below and let us know. Oh, and before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more coin hunting tips, error coin secrets, and stories about everyday people finding coins worth life-changing money. Don't miss out, you never know when the next $1 million penny video is dropping.